Welcome to the channel, Scott's Garage HTX. Don't forget the HTX. And this is my newest bike. And I did it because the Ducati seems to be in full track mode all the time now. I don't want to have to take the slicks off and the mirrors off every time I want to get it on the track, and then vice versa when I want to put it on the street. So I got this. I test rode two other bikes before I got this one. A CB1000R from Honda. Buttery smooth bike. What a really nice bike. But a little bit of a, I want to say yawner. Don't get mad. I know people are writing about that, but I was looking for just a little bit more power. But what a great bike. And the Street Fighter V4 from Ducati. No, that thing wants to kill you. So I wanted something like Goldilocks in between, just right for me. This seemed to do it. Found this 22. It had 50 miles on it, about 165 horsepower, good torque. And of course, I can't seem to leave things well enough alone. That's just me. I want to get this exhaust off here, get a little bit more power, reduce a little bit of weight, and I'm going to do my usual song and dance when I do that. I'm going to get a bass line of the sound and the weight of this exhaust. We're going to go to another Akrapovic exhaust, but we're going to go to the Evolution style that they have, which is full titanium headers and a titanium sleeve. We'll see how much weight we drop. I know how much they advertise, and they're usually right on the money, but we're going to test it anyway. We'll do the sound. I got a sound meter over here, and we'll run with that. And I thought about doing a dyno test on it, but I couldn't find really an active dyno or a dyno that's up and running here in Houston. Some of them were only going to do Harley Davidsons, and the other ones, I really didn't walk away from the conversation with the warm and fuzzy that they're going to hold any accountability whatsoever if something went wrong on the dyno. So I'll give you a seat of the pants kind of dyno thing. One of the things that I'm trying to address is, when you start off from the line in this, it really wants you to feather the clutch and go off and then give it some of the full throttle. It really is not, just in my experience, it might be user error, but dumping it and giving it the gas, it just wants to die. It's a real fine line. While on the Ducati, well, I can dump it and just twist into it and the front end comes up and you go. Matter of fact, it wants to leave you there at the light and just take off by itself. This thing is a little bit more finesse. I'm hoping with a little less weight, a little bit more power, a little bit more torque, that improves. We'll see. I'll give you the seat of the pants review of that. But to start with, why don't we see what this thing does? Now, I'm going to start it up. This thing on a cold start is a little bit louder, choked up a little bit as far as the injectors go, and it's a little bit louder. I'm going to turn this on, start recording, start this up. And see what kind of bass line we're going to get. You can hear that it's a little choked up right now, but the rev limiter on this, when you first start this up, it rev limits you to 6,000 RPMs before it says you can really jump into it. But even so, it's still idling about 2 grand, and it really idles about 1,000, 900 to 1,000. So we'll try to get it here. So you can see it settling down right now. We'll edit this a little bit till we get to a baseline and a nice smooth idle. That's about what it settles in at, right about here. We'll check what that is reading on the noise meter, and we're going to take it up to 5,000 RPM and see what we get with that, same as we've done before. Okay, so we got a sound reading. Next step is take it in and get the exhaust change. We will have to tune it. MT Moto, I believe, is the tune that we selected for this. I'm not sure. I think Akrapovic has another system or they use for their tuning as well. I haven't been able to find it. I found it one time online where you can actually go to their side company or whoever they use to do their tuning, and you could probably tune it yourself or something like that. But when I asked the guys at the dealership what was probably one of the better tunes to use for this bike and that system, Evolution system, they suggested MT Moto. Write in comments. That's what we're going to go with, and we'll weigh that. We'll get going. Yeah, next steps. So here's the box. The new titanium exhaust, Akrapovic exhaust for the S1000R comes in. We're going to take these bits out, weigh them, and also weigh the old piece and do our usual song and dance, as I said. Let's get to it. Okay, first thing we'll do is we'll weigh the titanium header. And titanium header weighs, let's say, 5.94 pounds. Okay, this is zeroed out again. This titanium exhaust sleeve. Which is nearly impossible. There we go. All right, what's that say? 423, right about 423. And the hardware looks like 0.57 pounds. Let me find out if there's anything else we need to weigh. There might be a carbon fiber bit or something like that that's going to be very immaterial. And the carbon fiber bit that attaches the sleeve, 0.22, this attaches the sleeve or the exhaust to where the passenger pegs would be. I've taken those off already. So that's actually a reduction in weight as well. The old components are off the bike and new ones are on. I'm waiting on a tune right now, so we'll get it here hopefully today. But now we can weigh the old components, and I'm guessing right now that it's going to be a big difference. I know on the website for Akrapovic, they said around 15 pounds, but just by picking up that box here with the new components and then putting the old components in that box, I'll be surprised if it's not more. But that's what we're going to do right now to find out. The first component, and hopefully I can get it on there, is the muffler and header assembly. 19.22 pounds. All right, maybe that wasn't as much as I thought. And then the silencer, 4.85 pounds. And then all the goodies, just the hardware, 1.59. I should be writing this down, shouldn't I? Calculating that all up, the old system, or original system, stock system, weighed 25.66 pounds. New system, 10.96 pounds for a difference of 14.7 pounds, which, if you look on the website, once again, is pretty much right on the money. Well, obviously this exhaust is on, and I think it looks great. It's cleaned up the bottom part, kind of tidied it up, the bottom part of the bike, if you ask me. The sleeve itself, the exhaust itself, it's pretty much the same. I think it connected to here before, and now it connects on this little carbon fiber that comes off what used to be the passenger pegs. But I took those off, and like I said before, nobody's gonna be riding on the back of my bike. For the sound, it's definitely different. One of the things I missed about riding the Ducati on the street was when I changed it to this Akrapovic exhaust that I put on that, was all the backfires and spits and gurgles and stuff that came with that exhaust. And this stock version was much more tame and smooth. They're back with this. So I have the noise meter set up over here. I do believe we're going to get more sound out of this. I have driven this back from the dealership, and we probably will get more sound. Yeah, I think so. Now, this was tuned by a handheld unit from MT Moto, and it's just a stage 1. I think they have a stage 2 with some velocity stacks. I didn't do that. One thing that is different is it's not choked up as much. This is pretty much what it sounds like from idle, and when you start it up, it doesn't come down like the other one did. Let's take it up to about 5 grand, see what the difference is. Sounds good. The other thing about this is it actually, with this tune on it, it actually raises the RPM range about 500 RPMs. And well, let's get it on the road and see how it sounds, because I didn't want to do this before, like put something on the side of the back of this tail fin or tail section of the bike. I didn't want to put one of these stickers on there or the brackets, but I decided I would, because you have to listen to this thing go down the road. It sounds great. Let's get to that now. So this is take 2. The first time I tried to kind of rig up the GoPro back here, and it fell off and damaged the GoPro. Luckily I have a backup, but it was an expensive little experiment, and I'm doing it all for you. Now I went ahead and put the little attachment to the fender flare there, whatever, and tethered it to the bike. So all this for you, so you can hear this bike. I'm just messing with you. So keep on keeping on. We'll catch you next time.